Hi guys, it is Friday, October 30th, and today I'm doing our video on Zoom because I want to share my screen with you in just a few minutes so that you can see something that you're going to be looking at today. So the first thing that you're going to be doing today is a journal, but when you get into Canvas, you're not actually going to see a new journal for today because I want you to do one of the journals from yesterday. So if you remember on Thursday, I gave you 5 choices for your journal and I said to choose one. I also said that you could do more if you wanted to, or you had some more for the future. So I am going to make the future now, and this will actually be the only time we do this. So I'm going to have you pick a second journal from the journal that we did yesterday, okay? So you had 5 choices, and I want you to pick one more from those 5 choices that you are going to do in your journal, okay? Okay? And it will still not be for a grade, so just keep it with all your other journals in Notability, or if you're writing on paper, you can put it on paper, and this is just for you to keep for now, okay? And you don't have to turn it in, okay? And the second thing you're going to do is you're going to look at some PowerPoint slides about persuasive writing. Now, the 6th graders, this is going to be a review for you, but I think it's a really important review because you know that we do a lot of persuasive writing in this class. Persuasive writing is probably one of the most important types of writing that you can do other than just research writing. So 5th graders, this is something you're going to do a lot while you're in my class, okay? So persuasive writing, if you hear the word persuade in there, this is when you're trying to convince somebody else to think the same way that you think about something, okay? So I have the students in my class from now, 5th graders, you're going to write a persuasive paper actually next week. So from next week moving forward, you're going to write a lot of persuasive papers to try and convince me and your peers or the administrators at our school or your parents or lots of different people to agree with you on some type of issue or perspective that you have on something, okay? So the first one we're actually going to do is about school uniforms. So we have a uniform policy at Sunnyside. It has gotten less strict over the years, and however, we're one of the only schools in Lafayette School Corporation that does still have a uniform policy. So you guys are going to write a persuasive paper to Mr. Brown, and I actually give these to him. We actually do talk to him about these, about whether or not you think we should have a uniform policy. Now, I know some of you guys, or all of you guys, are at home right now, but you might eventually be at school next year. So it's good to think about the fact that you are going to have to dress a certain way when you come to school. And it's for you to decide whether you think it's a good idea or not to have this policy. Okay, do you think it's important that we do have a uniform policy, or do you think it should be changed? So that's something you can start thinking about right now and sort of brainstorming and thinking about what you think about that policy so that maybe by next week you'll already have a few ideas, okay? So let me share. Here you go. So this is what you're going to be looking at on your own. There are no questions for this. This is not for a grade. I just want you to read it and I want you to pay attention to it, okay? So in class, the students and I are going to be discussing this PowerPoint and going through these slides and talking, but you guys are going to do it on your own, okay? And they actually are pretty detailed, so I usually don't really get a lot of questions. But if you have questions, save it for the Zoom meeting or email me, okay? If you come across a slide and you have a question, just let me know and I will email you back. I will be giving you a lot more information on Monday as well as a sample paper and all types of information, okay? So this is just like pre-information kind of, okay? So if you go through the slides, and like I said, I'm not going to read them all now because I know you guys are very much capable of doing this. You're going to see that it talks about what is persuasive writing and what exactly are you doing. So like I said, it's when you take a position for or against something, an issue. Are you for uniforms or are you against uniforms? And you're going to try and convince somebody else to think the same way as you. So the sixth graders, as an example, next week, we're going to pretend that we live in the Middle Ages and that we are going to be like lords and ladies and knights and peasants and serfs. And I'm the queen, and they're going to write me a persuasive letter to convince me which position they should have in our kingdom. So that's just a fun way for them to do something with persuasive writing. So they have to tell me, why should they be a knight? Why could they fight for our kingdom? Things like that. So there are lots of different ways that we use persuasive writing in our class. So it talks about the different parts of a persuasive paper. So there's always going to be 5 paragraphs, at least for our purposes. And you'll get to see when you read through this, all the different paragraphs that you're going to have. And like I said, on Monday, I will give you a sample paper so you can see what it's how it's formatted. And the sample paper is about school uniforms. So it's actually really, really close to what you're going to have to write. So I talk about the introduction, what's a hook. You see it right here. You're going to understand what a hook is when you read this a little bit closely. And then I'm going to go through this. Talks about a thesis statement. Again, what's a thesis statement? You'll understand that a tiny bit more. It's your reasons why you feel the way you feel. So I'm against uniforms. Your thesis statement tells me why. It gives me 3 reasons why you feel that way. We always work in groups of 3. 3 reasons why you are against uniforms, or of course, 3 reasons why you're for uniforms. And then you're going to learn about how to write the thesis statement. You're going to talk about the body of your paper, which is where you take those 3 reasons and you break them up into 3 paragraphs, 1 for each reason. My first reason I feel this way is ... and you write a paragraph. The second reason why I feel this way is ... and you write a paragraph. Third reason why I feel this way is ... and you write a paragraph. And then the conclusion. And then this talks about the whole paper altogether. And like I said, next week, you guys are going to be writing one on school uniforms. I put that in there. That's for the 5th grade. Like I said, 6th graders, you guys are going to be writing something different, but you will get separate instructions for that, okay? So I want you guys to first do the journal, and then second, I want you to go through those slides for persuasive writing, and I want you to just read. I don't want you to do any type of activity with it yet, okay? I really, really try to start off slowly with persuasive writing because I really want you to get good at it. And 6th graders, like I said, I know this is a review for you, and then when you write your paper next week, we're not going to go into this as detailed as I am with the 5th graders, okay? So if you have a question while you're going through the slides, please email me if you need to, or you can save your questions for the Zoom meeting, okay? So I hope that you guys get everything finished. Oh, what I was going to say, sorry, is I hope you got everything finished this week, but if you did not get everything finished with your work, please spend some time today also working on any assignments that might be missing, okay? You also have Wordly Wise due on Monday, okay? So I will see you guys in the Zoom meeting later today.